Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by ABC Quality and the South Carolina Department of Social Services.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina for another segment where we're talking childcare in South Carolina, everyone's business. And I'm joined by Michelle and Zoe from the South Carolina Department of Social Services. Guys, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you.
We have a lot to talk about, and I'm going to start with you here, Michelle. So let's go ahead and get into it. How would you describe the state of childcare here in South Carolina?
In our state right now, we have around 300,000 children that are ages 5 and under. And 68% of those children have both parents that are in the workforce, which kind of shows you the need for childcare. There's also some areas in our state that have childcare that's readily not accessible to families, which makes it even harder for them. And also the true cost of care is something that we need to really think about. The true cost of care far outweighs what families can afford to pay for childcare. So all of these things affect the parents, the children, the child care providers, our businesses, and our economy as a whole. And in South Carolina at DSS, we have recently worked with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation and the South Carolina Chamber of Commerce to produce an untapped potential report. And in that report, it showed that our state's economy loses nearly $1 billion each year due to child care issues. So it's something we all need to take note of.
So you're telling me this is a pretty big problem that's
Yes.
happening.
Yes.
Well, what is DSS doing to address these problems?
Well, right now for what we're doing today, trying to get the word out, trying to talk about it, trying to open communication of how the state of childcare is and what can we do. Our childcare licensing is also working really hard to license the childcare facilities as quickly as they can. We've worked with our COVID funding to try to create pilots to, like one was the SE Boost program, which was a wage supplementation program that helped our childcare teachers to stay afloat. And we also work with programs like Childcare Resource and Referral, who's here with us today.
Yes, I was going to ask you, resource and referral, that's what you do, right? Tell me all about that and how that's helping.
Of course. So SCCCR&R, we offer statewide services that are free, and it's all about promoting high quality early care in the state. And we like to think that we pour those free services into 3 buckets. So families, childcare providers, and the community. Parents who are searching for childcare can go on our website and use our search portal to find childcare that meets those needs. For families that have more specialized needs, they can work with our staff to get some more specialized referrals. So as an example, we work with families whose first language is Spanish. And then that second bucket, the child care providers, they're who has your kids during the day and during that really crucial brain development window of 0 to 5. So we offer them technical assistance throughout the year with our quality coaches. That's making sure that they meet those licensing and regulation requirements, but also taking it up to that second level of quality and providing the highest quality of care. And along with that, we provide free training and free conferences throughout the year. So they can get some of those tips on providing higher quality care, but they can also network and connect with their peers and connect with us and our partners. And then the third bucket, the community, we do a lot to connect with our community. One of the things that we're proudest of over the past couple years is our work with employers. So South Carolina is always growing, and there's always new employers coming into the state, and they need some childcare solutions for their employees. So that can look like a lot of different things. It's not a one-size-all-fits solution, but we can work with them to offer some financial incentives or partner with local childcare to help their employees. And like I said, that's all free for those populations.
You know, childcare is the backbone. Childcare is the backbone that supports families going to work, supports the children being able to enter quality childcare programs that get them school ready for kindergarten. So childcare is a 2-generation issue, and it affects our workforce of today and absolutely affects the workforce of tomorrow.
Thank you both. I really appreciate it. And guys, you can always learn more information about ABC Quality at www.abcquality.org.
This portion of Living Local Carolina was sponsored by ABC Quality and the South Carolina Department of Social Services.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by Conway Medical Center. Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. Today, I'm at Conway Medical Center, and I'm joined by Dr. Simone Mabin. Thanks for sitting down with me and chatting.
Thank you so much for having me.
You have quite the story to tell.
Oh, thank you so much.
We're going to dive into your background to see how you ended up here in Conway, but tell me a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. So my dad was in the military, so I grew up a military brat, moving all over the world, and I ended up in South Carolina when he retired. So I actually found my way here a few times throughout my career, first in the military, and then when I was in medical school, I came back here to Charleston too. So I've kind of come back and forth to South Carolina because my family is from here.
And now you've been here for a few years. What do you think of the area and of the practice?
Oh, I love this area and I love the practice. You know, one benefit you have of seeing the world and big cities and small areas is you start to know what you want. And one thing I really like about the area is the accessibility, how nice people are. You have a little bit of everything you want here, and you have the beach, and you get to the airport. I mean, these are all these things that are special to me. But I think overall, when you look at quality of life, I think Conway and Myrtle Beach have everything that I need.
Oh, absolutely. So what do you specifically do when it comes to orthopedics?
Yep, so I actually am a physical medicine and rehabilitation doctor, and I did a fellowship in interventional spine. So in this group, I specialize mostly in spine conditions.
Okay, so what does that look like on a daily basis for those of us that aren't doctors?
Yeah,
You know?
so back and neck pain. If you have back and neck pain, that's gonna be me. More importantly, if you have back and neck pain and you don't need surgery or you're trying to avoid surgery. And so I do a lot of non-operative, conservative management of back and neck pain. And then I also, in my training, have learned unique and innovative ways to treat pain with procedures that are minimally invasive.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So did you always know you wanted to be a doctor or specifically this field? How did that all play
So
out?
I wanted to be a doctor since I was 12 years old. There was
Wow.
no question about that.
Wow.
Now, I started wanting to be a neurosurgeon. It's a long story how I ended up here, but really it's interesting that it came all the way back to nerves and the function of the musculoskeletal system, because even though I didn't quite understand the ins and outs of being a doctor when I was 12 years old, it was interesting the journey that my life took me. I ended up in doing something where I talk about the spine and the nerves and the joints throughout. And then I always volunteered and got involved in opportunities that exposed me to things like that throughout my career.
Interesting. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. Where were you from originally?
So I was born in Kansas, but I really
Okay.
left when I was 4 years old.
We have a little timeline here. You know?
Yeah, we'd be here all day if we went
Yeah.
through every place I've lived. But
Okay, but you were in the military yourself, though.
yes, definitely.
Tell me all about that.
So I graduated from the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, and after I graduated, I commissioned as an officer. And so I served as an officer in the Air Force working in information technology, so not at all in medicine. And so a completely different area. It was a stepping stone for me. It was a way that I was led to get to the point where I am now to go through medical school. And so it was definitely something I'm proud of to have served in the military. But I closed that chapter once I got accepted. I was actually deployed when I got accepted to medical school. I was in Kuwait. Wow. And so they held my position for a year at MUSC, and then I matriculated the following year after I was done with my time in the military.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, I think you're so cool. Everything that you do is just so awesome. What do you do whenever you're not here working?
Oh, well, thanks for asking. I have a dog, Tanner. He's a 12-year-old miniature pincher, and he's like the key. He's been with me since I was, a third-year medical student.
Wow.
And so me and Tanner have been through a lot. We like to hike, we like to go to the beach, we like to do a lot of outdoor activities. And then I personally like to travel. I just got back from Costa Rica, which was really fun and adventurous.
Yeah.
And so I like to have a good work-life balance if I can. It can be a challenge at times as a doctor.
This portion of Living Local Carolina was sponsored by Conway Medical Center.
This story is sponsored by Seaside Furniture Gallery and Accents. We are very comfy and cozy today on Living Local Carolina. I am at Seaside Furniture Gallery and Accents, and I'm joined once again by Kent. Thanks for having me back here.
Thanks for coming, appreciate it.
It looks very different than the last time I was in here.
Yeah, we're moving the showroom, so we're very excited about the change that's going on here at Seaside. Hey, it's 30,000 square feet, folks, so there's a lot of furniture to be moved around, and we've done so, and it looks fantastic. I hope you come out and see it.
They definitely should. There's pretty much something for everyone here, whether you need a lamp or a rug. There's also a lot of fun stuff that you can decorate with.
Absolutely, yeah. We have a lot of lamps, pictures, and accessories on the showroom floor. You know, when you have that much square footage, it's really a lot to look at. And of course, we have the living room, dining room, bedrooms, outdoor furniture, this time of year, fireplaces, recliners. Those are the things that we carry a lot of, so every price point too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about y'all's history, how long you've been around.
Well, we've been around since 2001. We've been in this location, the main showroom and mattress gallery, since 2022. But prior to that, we were at the North Myrtle Beach store, which is still open, and that was in 2006 that we moved there.
All right, so for somebody that has not had the pleasure of coming by here yet, what all do you guys offer here at Seaside?
Yeah, well, like I said, we offer every furniture item that you could possibly think of. We have a great design team and also sales team. They've been around for 30 plus years selling furniture. So yeah, we have a wonderful selection here, and you can buy right off the showroom floor. You can take it home that day if you want to, or schedule it for the next day.
And what do you suggest whenever people want to make a purchase here? Should they just come look around, or should they make an appointment with one of you guys? How does that work?
Right, so they can call and make an appointment with one of our designers, but typically if they just walk in, we have enough coverage or staff that we can handle it. And what we ask, if they have a brand new home, bring the floor plans if you have it, bring your floor sample if you have it, or, you know, I always say bring your favorite picture and wear your favorite outfit, because those are going to be telling signs as to what colors you like.
This story is sponsored by Seaside Furniture Gallery and Accents. Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina. Today I'm joined by Quadre Stuckey. We're talking about beautiful, beautiful artwork with a rich cultural heritage. How are you doing?
I'm amazing. I'm blessed. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me today.
We're going to do a lot of fun stuff, but first I want to get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
I want you to kind of walk me through your creative process when it comes to this.
So when it comes to my creative process with the artwork, I like to visualize what I'm going to do first in my mind, and then I like to, you know, draw it or sketch it on the canvas. And then once I sketch it on the canvas, I like to add that paint to bring it to life.
And you have quite a history.
Yes.
Why did you get into art in the first place?
I would say art is like my God-given talent. It wasn't something I had to try hard with. It was something that would naturally come to me that just kind of flows easy. So I wanted to use that and share my gift with the world.
I would say that when you look at your art, I was taking a look at your portfolio, and
Yes.
a lot of it is so striking.
Yes.
You have such a unique look.
Yes.
How would you describe your art, though?
I mean, I would describe my art as kind of like a mixture between like contemporary pop art and then low country Gullah lifestyle series. That's what I say, because that's our history and rich culture in Charleston, South Carolina, where I'm from. So it's about that Gullah lifestyle, maintaining the culture and the heritage. So I'm just telling the story through my artwork.
Why is that important to you?
I feel like it's important because if you don't tell your own story, somebody else will tell your story and control your narrative. So it's better for you to keep your own history and pass it down to the generations to come, like your grandkids, your great-grandkids, and your children, to let them know where they came from and what you did to make it here where you're at today.
And how does it feel whenever people see your art for the first time?
It feels amazing because, you know, with artwork, it speaks to everybody different. You know what I'm saying? People get happy, people get excited, people get, you know, filled with joy. So, I mean, me inside, that's just a good, heartwarming feeling that I feel every time that people see it, experience it, and then they just love it and fall in love with it.
And what would you say is the toughest part of the process for you?
The toughest part of the process was, I'd probably say, you know, selling it, because, you know, these are like my kids, you know, and then somebody wants to buy it, you gotta let it go and then not look back. But, you know, at the same time, I could just paint another one.
And speaking of, if someone is interested in purchasing your art or taking a look,
Yes.
how can they do that?
Well, they could go online to my website, www.quaddesigns.net, or they could go onto my nonprofit site, www.GullahGeecheeFamilyFoundation.com, purchase the artwork.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Quadre. I appreciate you visiting me today.
Definitely.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Welcome back to Living Local Carolina. I'm Katie Turner, and boy, do we have something going on in the studio today. I'm joined by Wade Johnson, the Director of Bands at Benedict College. How are you?
I am fantabulous, Ms. Turner. Thank you for having me. Shout out to all the Benedict College in Columbia, South Carolina. How are you? Home of the BCBOD. Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and get into it now.
Okay.
You are quite the personality. You have so much experience when it comes to music. This is something that is truly a love for you.
Yes, it is.
Why?
It's a passion because I believe getting started as a late bloomer, I actually believe that is a calling. And when I say my passion, my ministry is what I was called to do because I wanted to do something else. I wanted to be a professional football player, of course. All men in small towns from McClellanville, South Carolina, wanted to be professional athletes. But anywho, due to an injury, trying to play football, and whoop whoop, I saw the band. The band got in the game tree. The band were having a good time. They were eating, and I was like, I think I can do that. And guess what? I didn't have to pay to go in anymore after I joined the band. So basically, that's how it all started. And from then, our beloved band director, Mr. Lionel Mackey Thomas, he came in somewhere around 72, and I was a senior at 74. So being hurt, wanted to get in the game tree. I was one of the last people to join the band program at Lincoln High School. Shout out Lincoln High School. And I started on trombone.
Okay.
And then eventually one of my family members, Drexel Ball, who had a trumpet, his mother bought him a trumpet where I was living at in McClellanville on Society Road. He had asthma, so he wouldn't play the trumpet. So what I started doing, I started going upstairs, got it up the case and experimented with it, and then aha moment. An aha moment happened. Mr. Thomas, I took it to him, and he said, you know what, I can teach you really how to do this. And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yes. Yes.
And you have so many memories over the years.
So many memories over the years. Music I've been blessed because music has not only taken me around the world with several experiences, I've had the experience to perform with some of the greats, namely Dizzy Gillespie, namely James Brown, Fred Wesley and the New JBs, and every now and then Fred still calls me to perform with him. Yes, Fred, if you look up Fred Wesley was, I have to say, one of the greatest funk trombone player, but he was also a fabulous jazz trombonist also. Fred is still performing around the world.
Now, okay, we need to talk about a very specific way that you can perform that not everybody can do. You can actually play two instruments at the same time.
Oh, yes, Frank Motley from Dizzy Gillespie's band. The precursor was this, Joey Morant, the late Joey Morant from Charleston, South Carolina. He had a trumpet that had two bells on it, but one lead pipe. And when I saw him as a kid doing that, I was like, oh my God. I didn't know that was just one horn. So moving forward to late 70s, early 80s, I got to meet Mr. Gillespie and saw his big band. Frank Motley was one of his trumpet players on his big band. Frank Motley actually did it with two trumpets. And I lost my mind. I walked up to him, Mr. Motley, that was awesome. He said, son, you want to learn how to do this? And I almost had a heart attack, but still, with Mr. Motley, I said, yes, sir. You know, small town country boy. I said, that would be something great to learn how to do. So he sat me down. He told me the logistics behind it. And scientifically, guys, the only way to do this, there are about 3 of us in the country, in the world, that can do it. But you have to use both sides of your brain simultaneously.
Well, thanks again for sticking with us here on Living Local Carolina. If you want to stay connected and check out any segments you might have missed, visit our website, wbtw.com/living-local, or scan this QR code using your phone right on the screen.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.